The tragic death of teen Celeste Rivas Hernandez, who was found in the frunk of singer David's Tesla, still remains a mystery after all this time. I'm going to go through some of the quote new headlines, which actually are recycled, trust me, and how you can spot the differences here. But first, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm Lauren Conlin from Los Angeles Magazine. This is your daily pop culture, scandals, and crime news podcast. All right, first things first, I have a little bit of a head cold. So I'm on a lot of different meds. So if I lose my train of thought, do not make fun of me, please. I am trying so hard here. Something I noticed recently, and I've seen this on Reddit, and I've actually had people email me things as well. And they're like, hey, did you see this? The LAPD confirmed recently there hasn't been a red rum. And I'm like, no, that is not accurate. What happened was they spoke to KTLA and they said there is no updates. And that means when they made their first statement, the LAPD said, and did I say, now I can't even remember if I said LAPD. I think I did. But the LAPD said, right now, we don't know if we have a crime beyond concealment of a body, which is a misdemeanor in California. So that means they don't know if they have a felony here. And yeah, a lot of people, including myself, are like, okay, well, Celeste, this sweet 14-year-old girl that should still be alive, she did not put herself in the trunk. LAPD came out swinging initially in September, and maybe this was just lost through the grapevine with TMZ and other outlets, but allegedly she was dismembered. So wouldn't that be abuse of a corpse? I mean, I guess not. But I wrote an article, let me see, it was about a week ago, and I actually will share this with you guys right now. But basically, this is nothing new. This headline was recycled so many times this week. I mean, I saw videos on it and I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. This was already reported on. And I don't think it was necessarily meant to be this big news case, but quote, LAPD stands by no further crimes confirmed in the death of Celeste Rivas Hernandez. LAPD told KTLA the only confirmed offense in the case of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez is the concealment of her body, a statement that's now sparking questions as critics urge prosecutors to examine her alleged relationship with 19-year-old David. So what happened was, as I wrote, in a statement provided to KTLA on November 6th, the department said that its prior news release, quote, stands on its own, reaffirming that no crime other than concealment of a body may have occurred. May have occurred. Guys, this literally just means they are still looking into this case. That is why. They are not saying that nothing nefarious happened. Clearly, something happened. A young girl wound up in the trunk of a car. They just have to continue their investigation. Clearly, it's not as easy as we all thought it would be. And also, if I can just go on, I don't know why I took it down. Blame it on my head colds. Okay. So, however, this doesn't change the fact that someone hid Rivas Hernandez's body and someone should be charged and punished. And the case has drawn national attention due to her prior connection to David Anthony Burke, a 19-year-old singer professionally known as David, who had been linked to the missing teen before her death. Now, this is where it gets tricky. We've seen some sightings. We've seen some communications, allegedly. We've seen streams, screenshots. I mean, these have to be validated, right, by forensics, whatever. But I think that this begs the question again, how do you prove a romantic relationship between David and Celeste when Celeste is deceased? I mean, I don't know if I know there are certain things that could be done to her body testing wise, but I just don't know if any of that could potentially be linked to David. Of course, it could if they found his DNA under her fingernails or if they find his DNA anywhere else. And yeah, he could say, oh no, we were friends. We did XYZ together. Does that prove a romantic relationship? I am truly not sure. I did hear Mark Garagos on an episode of Two Angry Men say it might be tough to prove there. If David is not a suspect and he doesn't have to hand over his phone or his cloud. The police only had what they searched inside that house, which clearly is not the phone on his person. So yeah, that may end up being difficult to prove. I'm just not sure. But then you go back to everything where it's like, okay, David, we still haven't heard from him. Oh, nice. Wow. I look great today. We still haven't heard from him. He is still in hiding. He canceled his tour. I mean, say something, right? Anything. This is wild. So then you go to all of the recycled headlines. Bombshell. This drops. Blah, 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 blah. I want to go to YouTube, and I'm not going to play anything necessarily, but this is Law and Crime, and they have really good coverage. So this is not me like throwing any type of shade or anything like that, because they have facts, but it is just funny that we have all of these different headlines. TMZ reveals unusual farm tools. I mean, this is not Law and Crime, but like I've spoken to Steve. We've spoken about these tools. He never said farm tools, just saying. 5 chilling updates. This is from a month ago. I think it's all going to be the same thing, or I know it is. I watched it. Tesla body case deepens as new video surfaces. I mean, and this was just more surveillance that we had seen from, let me find it. Oh no, gosh, this is even older. Wow.
New footage has just circulated of possibly David and Celeste Rivas Hernandez, the girl whose body was found in his car. If true, what does this tell us? Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime.
Okay. So yeah, that just going back to that. Sorry, I thought it was the other surveillance footage that possibly got released, but it wasn't. And I'm sorry. That's crazy. This has been around forever, but perhaps Law and Crime just got around to confirming that it was real. So yeah, so I don't know if that proves a sexual relationship. It definitely proves a relationship of some kind, but that's just more headlines being recycled. Now let's go to Steve Fisher's Twitter, because he dropped something yesterday. If you remember, Steve had told me on a stream that he got an email, or he was told by somebody that an email was sent to David's manager, Josh Marshall, in 2024 when Celeste went missing. And Josh Marshall has denied this. It was a whole thing. He said, I didn't get an email. I don't know what you're talking about. I live with my family and my children. Leave me out of this. And sure, not every email that's sent gets to an inbox. You don't even know if you have the right email. Who knows? This person showed Steve the email that was sent. Steve said law enforcement had it. And Josh Marshall said, cool, I don't have it. Well, Steve posted the email. Oh, and by the way, allegedly after the email was sent, when Celeste was missing, Celeste subsequently returned home the next day. So here we go. This is what Steve wrote. I don't know if you guys can read it very well, but he said, early in the case, I released information about an email that had been sent to David's manager, Josh Marshall, and another person, notifying them that Celeste Rivas Hernandez was a missing person, and Josh publicly denied this in a TikTok comment, claiming it wasn't true. However, an alleged copy of that email was leaked tonight on Reddit. The screenshot circulating online is said to be one that Josh himself took, sent to David, who then forwarded it to one of Celeste's friends. There will be more that proves that this was a known relationship between an adult and child. And the email is February 19th, 2024, and it says, there's been talk that the artist David possibly has something to do with the disappearance of 13-year-old Celeste Rivas. If that statement holds any merit, please do the right thing and take her home. Her parents are very worried. That's what the email says. Again, this all came from Reddit. I don't know how you guys feel about that. I don't take things from Reddit and, say, oh, yep, I believe this. I just think it's interesting and I wanted to show it to everybody. Josh Marshall still stands by the fact that he had nothing to do with this. So I'm going to take his word. I obviously do believe Steve, but there's a chance that the email didn't get there. I don't know. I wasn't there. I just wish that LAPD would move a bit faster on this case so we could all stop guessing and the recycled headlines could stop. And, I try not to do that as a journalist, but sometimes I get it. We can't help it. But yeah, so anyway, guys, thank you for watching this podcast, Justice for Celeste. We will have any and all updates here. You can go back as well to LAMag.com, where I did detail some other interesting findings about Celeste possibly being at a theme park with her cousin and David when she was reportedly missing. Again, LAMag.com, Lauren Conlon for all the articles. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week on Monday for more pop culture, scandals, and crime news.